Police in San Francisco are investigating after the daughter of actor Tommy Lee Jones was found dead in an upscale hotel on New Year's Day.
Actor Tommy Lee Jones was found dead inside of a San Francisco.
On the morning of the very first day of 2026, while the rest of the world was still riding the high of fireworks and champagne, Tommy Lee Jones received a phone call that cut through everything. The kind of ring that freezes time. No celebration, no warmth, just silence before the fall.
Medics were called to the Fairmont Hotel early Thursday morning for a suspected overdose after another guest found 34-year-old Victoria Jones on the hotel.
On the other end was not his daughter's voice. It was law enforcement. Calm, controlled, heavy. They informed him that Victoria Kofka Jones had been found unresponsive inside a luxury hotel room. Circumstances still unclear at that moment. Every parent's nightmare delivered in a tone trained to stay steady. The man audiences knew for iron nerves and stone-cold roles didn't perform this time. This was real life. A father collapsing under a weight no script could prepare him for. For years, Tommy had stood beside his daughter through a brutal struggle with addiction, believing patience, love, and family could always pull her back. But the shadow kept returning stronger, colder, draining hope little by little. And now the questions hit all at once. What really happened inside that hotel room? Was there anything he could have changed? Or was this one of those moments no parent ever truly controls? In the quiet early hours of New Year's Day, when empty cups and fading laughter still lingered, Tommy's phone rang again. Expecting a late holiday greeting, he answered without thinking. Instead, he heard the measured voice of the San Francisco Police Department. "Jones, we regret to inform you." Before the sentence could finish, the room started spinning. Tommy stood frozen, phone shaking in his hand as reality slammed into him with unbearable force. He whispered, "That's impossible. You've made a mistake. I just spoke to her." The pause that followed said everything. The phone slipped from his grip and hit the floor. The actor known for playing the toughest men in Hollywood looked suddenly fragile. No tears at first, just sharp breaths. Uneven, like the air itself had turned heavy. "No, please don't let this be true," he whispered, voice cracking. Outside, San Francisco still glittered with New Year lights. Inside that hotel room, everything had gone quiet far too soon. Victoria was only 34. At the exact moment the world was welcoming fresh beginnings. The Fairmont Hotel, known for elegance and celebrity guests, became the center of something unthinkable. Emergency crews filled the halls as word spread that something serious had occurred. Reports later confirmed that a call had come in shortly before 3 a.m. Roughly 20 minutes later, officers arrived and were informed that an adult woman had been found unresponsive inside a room on the 14th floor. According to a source, another guest was the first to discover Victoria lying still. At first, they believed she had simply fainted, but when staff arrived, it became clear the situation was critical. Early information pointed toward a medical emergency, possibly connected to substance use. With officials stating there were no signs of outside involvement or self-harm, authorities emphasized that official results were still pending before making final conclusions. Questions remained unanswered. Was Victoria staying at the hotel or visiting someone? Investigators had not yet clarified. Shortly after, the Jones family released a brief but emotional statement. They expressed deep gratitude for the overwhelming support and asked for privacy while processing their heartbreak. "We appreciate all the prayers and compassion and ask for space during this time." The message read, those close to the family described Tommy as devastated, but surrounded by loved ones trying to shield one another from the intense public spotlight. One friend called it an irreplaceable loss, saying the family only hoped Victoria would be remembered as a human being, not a headline. As news spread online, fans began revisiting Victoria's final interviews and appearances. One conversation from just 3 months earlier resurfaced. In a sit-down with CNN, viewers didn't see a confident Hollywood icon. They saw a tired father, a man worn down by sleepless nights and constant worry, speaking softly about his hope to see his daughter truly at peace. Tommy never hid the truth about her struggle. In one of his most emotional interviews, he called it the longest and most painful fight of his life as a father. He spoke about driving her to treatment centers, sitting through endless late-night talks, and holding her hand when hope felt dangerously thin. "I held her hand so many times," he said quietly, "and I told her, 'You're not fighting alone.'" Then came the line that broke viewers everywhere. "Sometimes love alone isn't enough." He described the hardest role he ever played. Not on camera, at home, a father trying to protect his child. Even when that meant saying no, setting boundaries, enduring distance, carrying the weight of decisions that never feel right but still have to be made. There were days she looked at me like I was her enemy. But if I didn't hold the line, I was afraid I'd lose her. The look in his eyes said everything. Fear, exhaustion, love, all tangled together. Any parent who's walked that road felt it instantly. Tommy explained how Victoria Kofka-Jones would promise to change, to stay clean, to start over. And every single time he believed her. "I wanted to believe her," he said, voice shaking, "because if I didn't, who would?" That belief became both his armor and his pain. Each setback forced him to watch her drift further into a place he couldn't reach. He shared one moment that shattered everyone listening. One night, after Victoria agreed to return to treatment, they sat silently in the car. The air was thick with everything left unsaid. Tommy turned to her and whispered, "You just need to live. Just live. I don't need anything else." Victoria didn't reply. She simply nodded. That tiny nod became his lifeline. A small spark of hope he carried for months afterward. Even just 3 months before that New Year's Day, Tommy was still holding on, still believing light could find its way back into his daughter's life. He said quietly that she was trying, that some days were brighter than others. Tommy understood recovery was never a straight line, but he believed she had a real chance. "She's intelligent, sensitive, and deep." He said she wasn't meant to fade away like that. When paramedics arrived, Jones was already dead. The medical examiner is investigating and has not released the official cause of death. Those weren't just words. That was a father refusing to give up. But behind the hope lived exhaustion. He could no longer hide. Tommy spoke openly about the hardest truth. Some battles a parent simply cannot fight for their child. "I can open every door," he admitted, "but I can't walk through it for her." When those words resurfaced later, they felt haunting, almost prophetic. What once sounded like determination now felt like something far heavier. That old interview took on a new meaning. Lines that once carried hope, now echoed with heartbreak. "I just hope that one day she wakes up and wants to live," he had said. Those words froze in time, a plea that never stopped being real. The world didn't see a Hollywood icon in that moment. They saw a father who gave everything he had. He stayed, he guided, he prayed, even when certainty disappeared. Victoria lived most of her life far from the spotlight. She valued privacy and rarely appeared in public with her father. But those who knew her remembered her warmth, creativity, and quiet intelligence, traits that made her absence feel even heavier. She occasionally appeared beside Tommy at premieres or red carpets, but fame never pulled her in. Born on September 3, 1991, to Tommy Lee Jones and his former wife, Kimberly Kay, Victoria grew up around flashing cameras and famous faces. Yet, her life wasn't all glamour. She lived between two worlds, one filled with Hollywood expectations, another far quieter, where her parents tried to give her something normal. After the divorce, she and her brother Austin Leonard Jones spent much of their time away from their father. Still, Tommy remained present. Their bond was built on discipline and structure, not indulgence. He once admitted that when Victoria joined him on set, she was treated like anyone else. No shortcuts, no favors. He wanted her to earn her place, not inherit it. For Tommy Lee Jones, this was never about headlines. It was about a father's belief that love could fix what felt broken. He stayed through setbacks, courtrooms, and long nights filled with worry, convinced that one day his daughter would choose life again. And when she did, even briefly, he treated those moments like miracles. Every small step mattered. Every good day felt earned. In one of his final interviews, before everything changed, he spoke quietly, but with conviction. She wasn't meant to disappear like that. Only a father could say that. Defiant, hopeful, refusing to surrender to the idea that her story should end this way. Those words now linger like a prayer, not dramatic, just human. At the heart of this story is not scandal, not speculation, but sorrow. A family trying to survive something no one prepares for while the world watches from a distance. When official reports eventually arrive, they may answer questions. They may clarify timelines, but they will never fill the space left behind. Truth matters. It restores dignity. It brings clarity. It helps people remember the person, not just the circumstances. That's what this family deserves. Understanding, not noise. And for the rest of us, maybe this story is a quiet reminder to slow down, to check in, to stop assuming we know what others are carrying. Sometimes kindness looks small, a message, a pause, a moment of attention, but to someone struggling quietly, it can mean everything. If this story moved you, take a second to like the video so more people can see it. If you want to keep following stories that look beyond fame and focus on the human side, subscribe to the channel. And if you have thoughts, experiences, or words that might help someone else, leave a comment below. Your voice could reach someone who needs it more than you realize. And above all, be gentle with each other, because we never truly know who's fighting quietly.